What's up, YouTube? It's your bro with the fro here, and this video is really overdue, and I apologize for that, but school has been crazy. I'm entering finals next month, so I had to do a lot of preparation for this. Classes are just insane. So I'm gonna stop making excuses and let's get on to this. So last time I left you guys off with a survival guide for new players who want to get into the game Warframe. And it got pretty good feedback, and I knew I had to make a second part. Some of it was me procrastinating, but I'm back on it. That's what you're going to be watching today. So to make up for that long period, I'm going to make sure this is an extra good video so that you can get to understand a little bit more about the basics of navigating through Warframe. Alright, so to start off, I want to talk about Mastery Rank. Now, Mastery Rank can be found as this blue bar that's under your name in the main menu, the Solar System menu. Now, if you click it, you'll get to see your stats, and it says, I will be reaching rank 10 in 458 points. Now, to get these points, you have to level up your weapons and your Warframes. Now, Warframes and Sentinels will get you 200 points per level, and weapons will give you 100 points per level. You also get a small bonus for completing a node on a weapon or on a planet the first time. It gives you around 60, I believe. So that's not the biggest way to get it. You want to just like make sure you level up your weapons and your Warframes and your Sentinel weapons and Warframe weapons. So that's Mastery ranks. Now, actually, there's a little bit more to it. You can't always get every weapon when you're a low level. You might notice that it tells you that your mastery rank's not high enough. Now, if you get to rank 8, that is where it caps off. Like, you can get any weapon in the game, any clan weapons, and any weapon you get in the market, you can use them all. So, if you're not high enough level to use a weapon, this is what it's talking about. It's talking about your mastery. So don't think that it's talking about like your Warframes are not high enough level. Now the next thing is we're going to talk about supercharging, or potatoing as the community calls it, your weapons and your Warframes. Now, there's 2 items that you need if you want to potato. I'm going to call it potatoing because that's what I called it for a while. Supercharge your Warframes and your weapons. So the first one is an Orokin reactor. The reactor is used to supercharge your Warframes. Now what supercharging is you see I'm level 30. I should have 30 points, but instead I have 60. It doubles your level basically, so you can put more mods on your Warframes because you get double the points. Now when you have your weapons, you have to get an Orokin catalyst. And sorry, I get too confused. I have a little cheat sheet. The Orokin Catalyst is used to do the same thing for your weapons. Just doubles the amount you can use. See, I'm level 24. I get 48 points. So that's pretty simple. And to get those, you can either buy them with platinum, which is the in-game or the currency you need to get with real money, or with the new trading system, or you can get them with alert missions. Now, to stay in touch with alert missions, I recommend downloading the app called the Warframe Nexus, and that app alerts you via like vibration and noise from your phone, telling you that there's a new alert, and you can set it to filter out with if you want weapons or catalysts or Warframe parts. That's also the way you get this frame that you see here, Vauban. You get him from Warframe, from the alerts, and it took me forever to get him. It took me a couple months, I believe. But make sure you download that app so that you can stay in touch and you never miss one of those alerts that are pretty important to you. Now the next thing we're going to discuss are keys. Now keys can be found in this menu right here. So now you see there's 3 different types of keys. You have your clan key, which gets you into the dojo if you have a clan and you want to walk around and check out the technology, buy parts for weapon tech item or clan tech items in Warframes. You have derelicts, and derelicts are represented by this key, and those are basically infested versions of Orokin missions, and the Orokin in the lore are basically like predecessors to the Warframes, I believe. And then you have just regular towers. Now the towers, they come in 3 tiers. You have tier 1, which is the easiest, tier 2, which is mediocre, and tier 3, which can get pretty intense, so make sure you're prepared. Now, for new players, you don't want to go into tier 2 or tier 3. Stick with tier 1 until you're comfortable with doing those, and work your way up as you get better weapons, better warframes, and generally get better at the game. These give you a pretty good payout of credits. They're a great way to farm for credits. Like, I believe exterminations give you over 26,000 per completion, which is pretty good. And you get really rare weapons like Prime Glaive. You get Ember Prime, which is Warframe. Mag Prime is also Warframe that you get from here. And Latron Prime, which is decent, I guess. I haven't built it yet. I still need to build that. But yeah, the towers have traps in them too, so be careful not to die by the lasers because they're really strong. Alright, and to get those, they come from alert missions, I believe, and also by doing survival missions. Doing survival and defense, actually. Those drop keys pretty easily. Just go to... What I do is, if you're a newer player, I'd go into like a 15-minute survival and just keep resetting till you get the keys that you want. It's a great way to farm for keys. And they have pretty awesome looking creatures in them. I personally love the tile set used in the Orokin, not the derelicts, but just the towers. I think it looks really clean and crisp, and when they first added it, I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Alright, and so to get the derelict keys, it's a little different. What you have to do is go into regular missions, and you'll see these black spheres, as represented by this picture here. They are NAV coordinates. Now, the NAV coordinates, you need 5 of them to build a key. Orokin derelict key, and you buy those in the market under equipment and keys and drones. And here you see you can buy them, and it'll tell you that you need 5 NAV coordinates and all this extra stuff to actually make the key. And another thing about the derelicts, there's 2 special things. You get the vaults. And the vaults are basically, they drop corrupted mods. And corrupted mods, what they are is you get 1 really good bonus and 1 debuff to your frame or your weapon damage, basically. So it's like a trade-off, and depending on what kind of frame you're building, the debuff could be pretty detrimental to you, or it couldn't even matter. So to get those the vaults, you have to create a dragon key, and there are 4 types of dragon keys, and it's recommended to have each player. If you're searching for the vaults, you don't have to; they're optional. But if you're searching for the vaults, have each player have 1 of each of the keys. Now, the 4 keys are the Bleeding Dragon Key, the Extinguished Dragon Key, the Decaying Dragon Key, and the Hobbled Dragon Key. Now, the Extinguished one, it makes it so you do 75% less damage. The Bleeding Key makes it so you have 75% less maximum health. And the Decaying Key makes it so you have 75% less shields. And the Hobbled Key makes you run 50% slower. So, one thing you have to make sure you do is take those keys off when you're not in a vault mission, because they will debuff you even if you're not in the Orokin derelict. Unless you're trying to make the game harder for yourself, if you like torturing yourself by having 75% less damage, which sucks, or walking 50% slower, which also sucks. I mean, go ahead, do your thing. Have some fun. The other thing that are in the derelicts are Golem NAV coordinates, and they're also represented by the same sphere that the NAV coordinates are. The Golem NAV coordinates, you also need 5 of those, and when you get those 5 back in the keys and drones section of the market, yeah, that's what it is, keys and drones, you can get an Orokin derelict assassination blueprint. See, it requires 5 Golem NAV coordinates. And that will lead you to this boss shown right here, which is the first raid boss. Like, legit, he's hard to kill if you do not have a full team that knows what they're doing. He's the first raid boss, and he drops Necros pieces. So if you want the Necromancer frame, farm the hell out of him and get those. I mean, but he's really tough though, so don't go in thinking that you can just beast mode him like you can do most of the other bosses. he can be pretty tough because he does a lot of poison damage that gets past your shields. So it's recommended to have at least one healer when you fight him. Alright, so next we are going to talk about, let's see, clans and Conclave. So a clan is basically like any other game that has clans. It's a community, a separate community aside from the regular players that usually work as a team, and they get together and build up a dojo. Now your dojo is basically a ton of rooms. You can have like a training room, a dueling room, and then tech rooms to build warframes and weapons that cannot be accessed anywhere other than that in the game. And you have to donate resources to help out your clan to get the technology fulfilled, and like everyone puts pieces into it so that you can faster build it. Now, clan tech weapons, like I said earlier, the most mastery you need to use all of them is Mastery 8. So make sure you get to Mastery 8 before you start wanting to build all the clan weapons. And let's see, Conclave. Conclave is this game's PvP. I'm personally not too into it because I feel this game is better as a co-op game than a PvP game. But if that's your thing, to check your Conclave rating, basically just go to your arsenal and you look right here. You see how it says, this is talking about, the left number is mentioning what the currently selected item, its Conclave points, and the right number is your total Conclave points. So Conclave points basically determine which planet you can fight on, and it tries to pair you up with people with similar Conclave points. And to get to the Conclaves, you select your planet and you click Conclave. You see this one has levels 0 through 100, so I couldn't do that because my Conclave rating is 920. So you basically go up and down the planets and find which one is acceptable for you to join in based on your Conclave points. And these points are determined by what the weapon is and how much mods you have equipped onto it. So the better the mods, like if I had full serration, it'll probably be higher Conclave points. Alright, and now Nightmare mode. So you probably have cleared out a full planet, you've done all the nodes on a single planet, and you notice these skulls. Now these skulls are basically a new mode, well, sort of new mode. They've been up for quite a few updates, but what they do is they give you a really tough debuff and a lot of strong enemies. So not only do you have to work with up to like 2 or 3 debuffs, but you have to get through really strong dudes and complete the missions these are somewhat the opposite of corrupted mods, but they give you 2 bonuses, like higher reload speed, higher damage, I believe is one of them, something like that. But that's just an example. You get 2 buffs so they're awesome mods. They're called Nightmare mods, and instead of them being it sounds like a bad mod, but it's actually a really good mod, and you want to farm for those eventually when you get better at the game and you're ready to take on the Nightmare missions. So good luck with those. It's really worth it. Really worth it. Okay, so now let's see. Oh yeah, some of the debuffs include having no shields, having a timer to get through the mission, but every time you kill an enemy it adds time to the timer, having your health draining throughout the whole mission, having your shields draining throughout the whole mission, and having your energy draining throughout the whole mission, which is the worst for me. I hate that one because I usually use Trinity and Nightmare modes, and not being able to heal myself, it sucks, especially when you're fighting like level 30s and stuff. Not a fun time, but it's worth it if you can get through the whole missions like that. Now the next thing, which is really cool, if you've played the Metroid Prime series, you've seen something similar to it, but you get a Codex now. And from the gameplay you can see that the Codex is used to scan enemies, and when you scan enough of the enemies you get a newer entry into your Codex. Now Codex is found in your main menu. It's separated throughout all of these, so let's check out enemies, and then you can separate it through factions right here. Let's see, we're going to go to the Grenier, and you can see this red bar fills up. And with each scan, let's see how many scans I need now. It says I have 11 out of 20, so with 9 more scans I can uncover the rare mods that this guy drops. So I can know if I need to farm, where I should go based on those enemies. You see I have Captain Vor scanned out to the max, and it gives me a lot of information on him, what he's weak to, where to find him, and the things that he drops. So that's really cool. It's one of my favorite additions because like I'm actually going to be a video game artist possibly, so being able to check out their models that they use in this game is really freaking cool. That's one of my favorite features of this game. I'm glad they put that in. Now the next thing we're gonna see is the Extractor. So in the market, when you go to equipment and keys and drones, you'll see a Titan Extractor blueprint. Now you only need to buy this once because this is a disposable thing basically. Each Titan Extractor is gonna eventually die, but the way you use them is after they've been built, you put them on a planet that you've gathered all the nodes of, just like if let's say anyone that you can do nightmare mode on, and it'll farm for resources for you while you're not in the game. So but it'll take damage while it's farming from resources, so you have to wait for its timer to go down, and eventually when you go back to that planet, it'll tell you collect resources, and it'll put all those resources that your Titan Extractor collected and put them right in your foundry for you, so you can use them to build up any weapons or warframes that you need to. Okay, so now one of the final things I'm going to talk about is the achievements, or as they're known in this game, the challenges. To access these, you click your profile and go into the challenges, and here they are. They're separated, not really separated, but there's a huge variety of them, like bows, pistols, rifles. Maxing out all those gives you more challenges, and I believe these add to XP, I think. Not too sure, but don't count on me for that one. But they're pretty cool. I'm not a huge like achievement hunter, but it's pretty cool, I guess. When they first added this, it added like 50 of the freaking challenges for me, since I've been playing a long time before they added that. But it was pretty cool to see that. So yeah, I believe this is where I'm gonna end for now. I hope you learned something from this video. Stay tuned for my next videos. I'll try to be a lot better at uploading. It's just a lot of things going on right now, so sorry for that again. I apologize for anyone who was expecting this video a while ago, but I'm glad to have it finally up now. So please leave a like if you enjoyed this video or learned something new, and be sure to subscribe. Each subscription makes my afro bigger, so do your part and subscribe. I will talk to you guys later.